All right, so what I have for you guys today is going to be a couple different stretches involving the shoulders and also the neck, maybe even mid-back. So one of the first things to sort of cover is kind of what the shoulders do. And, you know, speaking of the shoulder blades particularly, you know, we push forward, right, we're protracting the scapula, we're reaching up, we're getting that elevation of the scapula as we bring our hands down or push off the seat, right, we're depressing the scapula. As we're pulling something right back, we're retracting. So you see they do a number of different movements and all associated with a bunch of different muscles that are sort of, you know, pulling in all different directions. And that can affect, obviously, your posture, mid, lower back, all the way up to the neck. So one of the things I want to go over is just hanging, right? Brachial hanging, they call it. And what that does is, obviously, if I'm hanging off of a pull-up bar, or any sort of bar for that matter, what we're doing is we're getting, right, that elevation in all the muscles that are associated with, you know, elevating the scapula. So one of the easiest ways to do it is getting on that pull-up bar and going with that thumb over grip. You can go outside the shoulder just a little bit, or keep in line with the shoulder, it's not a big deal. And you're just gonna hang, right? Now if you feel any tension in the elbows, you can flex the biceps just a little bit, that's okay. And if the weight is too much for you to completely lift those legs off the ground, that's okay too. You can just plant them right into the floor, or you can bring the tops of your feet down and take a little bit of pressure off. And you'd hold this for maybe 20, 30 seconds. You do 2 or 3 sets of this. And right away, once you begin to relax, you can start to feel those muscles really start to stretch out. And again, this is involving that elevation of the scapula. So it brings me to my next one that you can do, and this is going to deal with the retraction. You can essentially just pick a corner of your room, and this isn't really a great corner, but for the purpose of recording, not moving the camera around, you know, if this were a good corner to use, ultimately, my hands would be up shoulder height, and I would take, a little step, and I would just let myself lean into the corner. And obviously, you bring your chin up. You get a little bit more extra stretch in the muscles that are both, right around the clavicle to the, the pec region. But as you can see, I'm getting a nice stretch. I'm getting a nice retraction of the scapula. And again, you can do 3 sets, maybe 20, 30 seconds. You can apply that to each one I'm going to show you today. So the next stretch, you can sort of, you can use a band, you can hold weights, kind of like a farmer walk or something of that nature. But what I have here is just a regular band. It has handles. Obviously you don't need the handles, but it makes life a little bit easier. So if your cables are long, or your bands are long, you can just create some slack on the outside, and then just step wherever you need to create the type of tension that you're desiring. So this is the next one. This is depression of the scapula. So I'm finding whatever resistance I need, and then I'm just going to stand up. And again, you can bend your elbows if you need to, but sometimes I find that you'll end up flexing your shoulders in your traps. So be mindful to really try to relax. And once you do this, you can start to feel those traps really start to pull out. And also the muscles of the neck. And if you want to increase the stretch, the muscles of the neck, tilt that chin down. You can come back up, you can just tuck your chin, get some lateral movement. And you can hold each side for really as long as you want. But remember to tuck the chin in as you do it. And breathe through the stretch. That's key. No holding your breath on either of these or any of these. And this is a really good one that I feel a lot of people, you know, sort of neglect. You know, it's common, people are really tight in their traps. And this is a great answer, a remedy for those tight traps and tension around the neck and shoulder girdle. So far, you know, we've covered the retraction, right? Also the elevation, depression. Now, as far as protraction is concerned, you know, there's a few different ways. The easiest way is to sort of use a pull-up bar. Obviously, you can use weights or whatever. What I like to do is I'll use some sort of bar, specifically my pull-up bar in this case. You know, you can hold on to anything that's stable, that's around like mid-height. What I do is bring it down, and again, I take like your basic grip, shoulder, a little outside the shoulders, that's okay. And I take a little step in, and I'm leaning back. And as I'm leaning back, right, you can feel the shoulders pull forward. Now, obviously, not everybody has one of these pull-up bars. So, in which case, you can use, again, some sort of, you know, low to medium weight, or a weighted ball, or something of that nature. And you're just leaning over, and you're letting those arms, you're letting the scapula protract forward, right? And again, what this is doing is stretching out all the muscles of the back, right? So, you know, the rhomboid muscles, you know, the muscles of the shoulder, you know, in the back, like the subscapularis, and you know, even the larger muscle groups like the, you know, the lats. And you know, use a conjunction. You know, it proves to be a really nice addition to any shoulder stretching routine. And again, 2-3 sets, maybe 20-30 seconds. And if you want to, you know, get the, you know, whatever you're doing, you know, get some head movement in there to help loosen up not only the shoulders but the front, you know, chest muscles, and you know, because the neck does a few things too, right? It rotates, circumducts, and you know, lateral. You know, you can pull in, extend, flex. So if you incorporate some of those different neck movements in with those shoulder exercises, or stretches rather, it'll really, you know, if you have tension, it'll really loosen that up. You know, it could really be beneficial to add in your routine, especially if you're tight, which most people are, myself included. All right, thanks guys.